There we go. Saturday morning training. I love these days. And the 10 most valuable people, 10? No, 9, because Coach B's got his bot recording us. These 9 most valuable people are here live. So I respect and I appreciate you guys coming live, coming to see what it is that we're going to be sharing. Perhaps 1 or 2 people haven't joined because they think, oh dear, I haven't spent the valuable time that I needed to in what was asked of last week. Hey, Aaron, g'day, mate. Welcome, welcome. So no worries. If you haven't had the time to go through what we did last week or what I shared last week, doesn't matter. There's still time. You can build on. You can build on. You can do these in your own time. What I would just encourage you to do is give that commitment. You can count me as 2. Sean is... Thanks, Elizabeth. That feels better. There we go. We got Zelda joining as well. Wonderful stuff. So if you haven't had the chance to go through, and I'll cover very briefly what we covered last week in case you missed it, or the week before. Check out the recordings. These things, they do build one on each other. But you can join today and do the exercise. You're welcome to that I'm going to be sharing with you. But I would strongly encourage you then just to invest in yourself. If you want to make 2024 a year of difference, a year of growth, a year of change, a year of progress, start now. It's the time that you spend on self now, self-care, being selfish. Selfish meaning self first. Start now. The reality is, if we've all got dreams and goals, right? You've got something that you want to achieve. You've got a certain level and area in power gifting you want. In life in general, because I don't just talk about power gifting here, this is applicable to anything in your life. If you're looking and saying, well, I'm not who I want to be. I'm not in that place physically, spiritually, financially, mentally that I would like to be. If you carry on doing what you did last year and you follow it through this year, you're going to get what you got last year. Because if you knew everything right now, if you were the person that you wanted to be right now, already there, you would have what you want. The reality is you don't have what you want because there's something missing. There's a gap somewhere. Now, I don't know what it is. Each person's unique. But if you're not doing something different every month, every week, every day, then you're just going to stay where you are. And you guys are here every week, and I'm seeing the same guys coming every week, and I have huge respect for that. You're here because you're saying, I need something different. I maybe know what it is, maybe I don't know what it is, but I need to have a different thinking, a different process. And that's what I'm here to help you with by feeding you this information. And the more that you take it seriously and you invest in self, you're committing your time on a Saturday, and I commit some more time outside of this. That way, that investment is going to pay off huge amounts. I know this, I've seen it. So spend that time, go back, commit that time, block it out in your diary. Every day, if you saw my diary, every single day, you'll see for 2 hours in the afternoon, Tim's time. Nothing else will come in there. That's my time. That's not counting my reading in the morning, my meditation in the morning. I'm talking that time is committed to me, no one else. The rest of the time I get pulled from pillar to post in meetings and Zoom meetings and clients, etc. Hey, Revron, how's it? Hey, Noel, welcome, welcome. So let's just jump onto my screen here, because then I know I'm going to stick on topic because I value all of your times. No, I've lost my screen now. There it is. All righty. 17th of Feb training. You can see that screen, right? You can see the power gifting. Coach B, give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Just got to double check. You should, but anyway. All right, I'm going to go through my training, continuing on our values, but today I'm talking about voids. I didn't change it on there, voids. And there'll be Q&A, but there's also going to be, if I can get my screen to change. Why is my screen not changing? There we go. Okay, now I've got an IT challenge. Why have I got an IT challenge? Bear with me, guys. Sorry about this. What is going on? I can see the screen that should be coming up next, and it isn't. Isn't it? What's happening? All right, hold on. Oh my goodness. I've hit a technical glitch. Sorry, bear with me.
Well, I'm glad you haven't started recording yet.
I did actually, didn't I? Hang on. I thought I was. I'm trying to figure out why. Okay, let me get rid of that. That is very, very strange. For some reason, it doesn't want to show. There we go. It didn't want to show my slides. All right, let's. Interesting how these things work in trial, but in reality, it doesn't. Get rid of this Zoom stuff. Let me frame this again. And you can't see that now. Oh, goodness me.
Let's see all the top values and stuff. It's gone now.
Yeah, but it wasn't giving. Oh my, sorry, guys. Good grief. I do this all the time. I don't normally have this this issue. All right, so that's fine. That works. Get back onto here. Let's try one more time because again, it's worked. But now
I see that your screen.
Yeah, but it's not playing the right screen, and then it doesn't want to. There we go. All right, now you've got recap in front of you. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another block's come in the way here.
I see it's signed underneath Tim Wagner.
You can see recap and then 5 points, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
All right. Now,
Beautiful house.
beautiful house.
It's back to recap now.
There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my.
What do you want? We can read 1, 2, 3, 4. Recap.
Yeah, but it's not, for some reason, it's not playing.
Sound.
No, not playing the actual side. Okay, there we go. All right. Recap. Sorry. Let's get back on track. Let's quickly cover. We have been going through since January, bridging the gap. That's your goal activation plan. So this is that strategy of what skills do you need to add in that you don't have? What habits do you need to take on that you don't have? What habits do you need to lose? All those things. That's your document that you keep with you all the time. We then discovered it begins with knowing who you are. You asked 10 friends and family and colleagues for 5 adjectives. Then, that was how others see you. The first one was how you see yourself now and also in the future. Then last week, it was all about your values. And this is John DeMartini's exercise. Today, we're going to go through your voids. The voids, a little bit of a different one. Not very often spoken about, but hugely visible. And then we will be, sorry guys, whoever that is, just keep yourself muted, please. And then Dr. C will be going through the system updates. We've had a great meeting with the programmer yesterday, and Ningi's going to share some insights and perspectives as well. Let's climb into it. I'm now behind. So last week, we spoke about your values. I'm not going to ask in the chat box, you know if you did it or not. And if you're listening to the recording, well, stop. Go to do the values exercise. I'll share the link again. In fact, it's already on the Telegram group. I put it there this morning. So if you can't remember it, click on that, go through the values. Once you've done the values exercise, you're going to then identify the top 5 values Now, all of this is taken through on the website, John DeMartini. But then take this and write down your 5 values. So the highest 2, 3 are the most important ones. You're going to use these next week. No, it won't be next week. It'll be the first week in March, I think. Here, you're going to discover the similarities. Learn, educate, study, and research are together. Business, networking, making money will be together. So you're putting together your values to come up with your top 5. And this is important because we're going to connect these all later on. So that was the values principle of what you've done last week. When I personally did the values, they came up as wellness, wealth, and wisdom, or health, I should say, wealth or business, money, and education, knowledge, reading. Those were my 3 key areas. And without me realizing and connecting it before I did this exercise, I was already living and enjoying the value of working in those 3 environments. It was just that this time I knew it, and I knew it deeply. And that then turned around and added to what is now my purpose statement, which is what we'll get to during March. Now, today, what we're talking about, I didn't go through that, there we go, is filling your voids. This is when we're going to get really into some nitty-gritty. And today can get a little bit intense for some people. Now, there are, just having a look at the names of some of you, there are 2 people on this call who have actually done this exercise with already. So it'll be great for you to do it again. And you may remember that going through it, it can be intense. If you really want to understand self, who you are now, and begin to unpack why you are who you are now, this is an essential part of the journey. So in this session, we're going to delve into your past to identify aspects and needs that were missing from years before, even from childhood, as young as 5 years old, 4 years, 3 years, 10 years old, that you now fill in your adult life. This is a void. See, nature abhors a void. And so naturally, we find ourselves filling these voids later in life. If you've ever wondered why you love doing something and somebody else doesn't, and they love doing something and you don't, well, it could be that you have a need to fill this gap from somewhere in your life, and you then finding value in doing this where somebody else never had that gap earlier in life. So the impact of a missing piece of a childhood, perhaps, or even teenage years, it can vary depending on the nature and extent of the void, on how emotional it was. Because childhood, when we're kids, these experiences really shape our beliefs, our values, our interests, our language, our habits as we become adults. So everything that happens in the past, from your parents, from experiences, we all understand. We mirror those as later in life. If there's a significant void, there's something significant missing. It may impact in your main areas of focus and interests in your adult life. And in some cases, a missing piece of your childhood could even be the fuel that drives you and motivates you to pursue certain goals and dreams and interests later in life. For instance, you can find a lot of people who grow up in poverty. They have a lack of money in the house. And I'm not saying necessarily that you can grow up in poverty living in a decent house, but not having money. When money doesn't grow on trees, your mom says, or there isn't, and you can tell no, and all these. That could be your motivating factor why business and finance and stability in finance is so important for you later in life. There's a huge amount of research which has been done over the last few decades where the phenomenon is called compensation or compensatory behavior, where now you're behaving to compensate for what was missing, your void earlier in life. And there's been many journals and social reviews done on this, where it's found that experiences of early life stress, childhood abuse, and neglect can engage in adults to compensate for that and pursue higher education or becoming teachers and becoming very proficient in areas of social upliftment and help for the youth that was perhaps missing earlier in life. So your voids can birth your values. Now, not always, not all the time, but very often, if you dig down deep and you really have a look at some inter-perspective analysis, you'll start to identify why you're passionate about what you are now versus something else, which is valuable, of value to you, but you're not as passionate about it. Right? So your empty feelings from being a child would then be filled or fulfilled naturally now. There's a couple of types of voids. There's 5 types of voids I'm going to be going through with you here. So you're welcome to take notes. You're welcome to take a screenshot of this, or I'll share it later on. Perhaps I'll share it on the group later on for you as well. So the question I want you to ask yourself is, what were you missing in your younger years? Now, some people may see and find that they don't really identify anything. And when I first did this, I thought, well, I don't really know. So let me share with you. Would you like me to share my story just very quickly? I think I've got enough time. I'll make sure I've got enough time. I think it's important to frame this. So when I went through this, I couldn't really put my finger on it. What was I missing as a child? I grew up in upper middle class Johannesburg. My father was a business professional. He built his own business. After a couple of decades, he had the largest public relations firm in the Southern Hemisphere. He had offices all over the country and in Australia. He's a businessman of note. Mom, she had a part-time job as she looked after my sister, but we always had a good house. We lived in a very nice part of Joburg, not lavish and upmarket, but a very nice swimming pool. I went to a great school. So I had everything that a child would need. So I'm thinking, well, what is missing? Well, what was missing? My father was missing. That connection with my dad for the support and the encouragement was missing. I had a loving family, but we never outwardly. My parents are British, and British people are reserved. They don't show affection and love. So there was not that. But I lived in a loving family. I knew my parents loved me, and they still do. But there was something missing in that connection and support and coaching and encouragement and recognition from my father. And as I started to see what was missing then, what do I do now? I coach. I guide, I uplift others, I encourage others, I motivate and inspire others. Naturally, I love it. It fills me. It fills a void. Now that got me thinking in detail. So go through the exercise, because you may identify quite quickly. Some people do. Others, not so quick. But just start having a look at a couple of these things. The first void that we look at is abandonment, physical, getting lost. Now, it doesn't mean you were left on the doorstep of an orphanage. Maybe there was a traumatic experience where you lost your mom in a shopping center. A parent abandoned you. Mom walked out and left you with dad only. Dad walked out and left you with mom only. Became suddenly you only had one parent. Emotional support, psychological. Parents were distant, around, but not there. As a parent. So abandonment can be one of many different ways. Rejection. You can't do this. You can't do that. Your opinion doesn't matter. You're not good enough. You're bad. You're stupid. You were bullied. You're teased. You're told off. You weren't really loved. There was rejection. Academic abandonment is another thing as well. Me, I was the kid at school that made the top of the class possible. I was the dunce at the back, man. No teacher ever. There was one teacher, I think, in my entire schooling that took any recognition that I existed. Otherwise, I didn't exist at school. Academically, I was just rejected. Now I'm a student of life, of law of attraction, of personal development. I can't get enough of it. See the comparisons. Shaming, overweight, academic. I was shamed academically. Put down in many ways. You become self-introverted. You hide in yourself. fearful, fearing of judgment, fearing of family. Maybe there's also shaming and comparison between yourself and a sibling. Sibling is massively academically high achiever. You're not. They're into sport. You're not. So there's this comparison, a shaming, and you feel that you just go and hide. Absence of parents. This is where the parents are around, but there's no support. I had some of that from my father. He was around all the time. I just never got that support. And then the surroundings. Perhaps it's not having a stable home, not having stable education. You move around a lot. One of my clients in the past was brought up from the US, was brought up in a family of, her dad was in the army, and they went all over the world in different bases, army bases, army barracks. She never had a stable home, consistent friends. The surroundings were absolutely unstable. And perhaps it's even not enough food, not enough money. So there's no stability in the foundation of the house. So here's the exercise. Pick an age. And now an age can be between 0, 10, 10, 20, even 20 to 30. One which has a resonance of feeling that feels like I had the most abandonment, rejection, shaming, absence of parents, difficult surroundings, turmoil, and surrounding changes could have been as dramatic as having a beautiful, stable home, and then you moved vast distance, you lost all your friends and all your connections and your schooling, and it destabilized you completely. Perhaps that happened when you were 12 or 13. My biggest connection of my voids was when I was in my early teens. I didn't realize it then. That's when we left South Africa, went to the UK. I went to boarding school from a home and home life. Parents stayed in South Africa. I went to boarding school in the UK. Huge, traumatic. It was also the most amazing part of my life, but also it created a huge amount of voids as I felt abandoned and left. So identify a void, a time in your life. And it could be right now just a feeling, but you can't pinpoint it. And have a look at the behavior that you have now. I've shared with you my behavior from a void. Absent father, didn't get the recognition, the encouragement, the support, the motivation. What's my compensatory behavior? I encourage, I motivate, I uplift, I want to be of service to others and inspire and educate and coach. See the difference? I didn't have that education. I had the education. Let me change that. I had the education in the right environment, but I was rejected. I was shamed. I was the bottom. I didn't care about my school report card in the end. In the end, my parents just said, just pass. Just get through to the next one. I just did what I needed to do to get through. That's it. Now, if I'm not reading a book every day, if I'm not listening to webinars and growing my mind and improving on my service, I'm missing something. That's my compensatory behavior. What you do from this is you're identifying 3 or 4 voids, your main voids. I've shown you what mine are. Education. These, along with the value principles, along with who you are and the adjectives that your friends and family gave back to you, we're going to start putting all this together next week. It won't be next week. It'll actually be the first week in March. So I'm not here next week. We're going to start putting this together. So it gives you an opportunity to get you 2 weeks now in order to do these exercises and start putting them all together. And I'm going to put them together with you on one document, which is then going to identify. And here comes the end result of what I would love for all of you to have is you are now identifying your 3 main values. And we're going to then tie this and wrap us all up nice in a beautiful bundle, a beautiful present, which becomes your purpose statement. And that your purpose statement is your guiding light. It's like your lighthouse. When you know it, because you've unpacked all of the pre-programmed things, everything that you were told you are, which maybe is not who you really are. And you've got rid of all of that and left with your core who you are. Everything that you do is aligned to that. You're motivated, inspired, excited, passionate, energized. You don't need external influences on you. If something goes wrong, it's great because it's part of the journey. It's now not a challenge, it's an opportunity. The whole mindset and paradigm changes. That's my wish for you guys. So I'm going to open it up because the voids can be, stop sharing here quickly. The voids can be quite a sensitive one, a bit of more of a difficult one to actually pinpoint because you're looking at finding your own voids and your own answers as opposed to following a Demartini exercise, answer these questions, and he gives it for you. Great to see a couple more guys joined us today. That's absolutely wonderful. So I'd like to open up for 5 minutes. If somebody's got a question around either the Demartini exercise, the values, or your voids, if you want to put in the chat or put your hand up and then unmute, I'm happy to chat to give some clarity if need be. There's a lot of information I've just given you now, quite quickly, noting that this 20 minutes I've done this in is actually an hour training that I do with our clients. So it's a lot of information quick, and I want to see that you guys understand. I haven't got my water. Anybody friendly? Different feedback. Was it beneficial? Did you find this interesting? Is this an exercise you'd like to do? Any thumbs up? Any, interesting. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Thank you, Ara. Nice to see you, Sarah, Sabina. There is massive value in, thanks, Coach B, in spending some time and doing a bit of introspective analysis and going inward. There's huge value in spending the time on doing it. You realize the value after you've done it, because it really starts to help you understand why you are and you value and you like this and you like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's no wrong in any of this. It's just an understanding of who you are, because as I said right at the very beginning, if you missed the very first one, to take you for you to go from who you are now to who you'd like to become, be it spiritually, financially, intellectually, doesn't matter. That journey, that gap, you're never going to get there if you don't know this person. Accepting this person fully, wholly, 100%. If you're not accepting this person, you haven't identified who this person is right now. The reality is the end person here is going to be different from the real you, the real who you can be. And it'll be a struggle to get there because your foundation, it's like having that GPS where you open the GPS and the GPS says, that's where you're going, and gives you a map. But it doesn't ask you where you are. But how, so you're over there, but the map says go from there to there, and you go, but hang on a second, I'm not over there, I'm over here. Because if you're not telling that GPS, that inner GPS, where you are, who you are now, how on earth are you going to get that map, that route to your final who, the final destination? So think of it like the GPS as well. You have to know the foundation of where you are right now. Then you can build on it. And I would say 95% of the time, I don't know the number, but a huge amount, it's not the who that you thought that you were, unless you've done exercises like this before in the past. All right. That's my story. Oh, I'm not too bad on time. There we go. That's my story. So the continuation of this is 2 weeks to do all these exercises. Please reach out to me at any point. Send me a WhatsApp message. Send me a message on Telegram. If you want a bit of clarity on one of the exercises, you listen to the recording, you've got a question, please just drop me a question. I'll be more than happy to answer it for you so you can make sure that you're going the right path, the right route in order to get there. And in 2 weeks' time, because I'm not here next week. Next week, you've got the amazing Ningi and Dr. Clinton. I've got a client next week, Saturday, typically the last Saturday of every month. And then I'll be back with you as we start on then the first week in March to wrap this up nicely. And that will then take a couple of weeks to go through this, so you can really start to understand the end result. I wouldn't want you to be at the end result having missed some of the beginning parts, because it's not going to have the same meaning. And you're investing your time, and I'm gifting you my time so that you can benefit from this. All right. Thanks, Noel. Much food for thought. It does. Yeah. There's a lot of food for thought there. And you are on the journey, but you're not alone. So yeah, got your back, guys. I'm here with you. So thank you very much for listening in for me. And that's the training for this week, to identify your voids. You guys know a little bit more about me now as well. And what I'd like to do is, Dr. C's in the house. There he is. Just to give us a bit of update, because you guys are saying, where's the website? What is going on? It's now nearly 2 weeks. How are you, Dr. C?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much, Tim, for that training session. It was awesome. Just to reflect and do some introspection again and look at some of those things. You know, you have to take the value of the things you've learned throughout your life to really make an application for your future in the year now. So it's important just to do that. Yes, we had a meeting yesterday, myself, Tim, and Ningi, with the developers. We've been advised that we should be back online by Monday. We're hoping that the uploading process will obviously be good over the weekend. So yeah, let's just keep in there. Like I said, we did have a meeting with the developers yesterday, and lots of background in the backside was done because they moved, to a new operating system to make sure that the program can run much smoother. So yeah, so we are excited. We are excited to get going, and hopefully by Monday we should be back live. That's the commitment that we got. So we'll just take it from there. Okay. Thanks, Tim.
Brilliant stuff. Thanks a lot, Dr. C. Yeah. So lots of stuff happened in the background. And I think it was brilliant when they moved us. I don't know what the term, in my terminology, moving us onto a very stable, very secure, more secure, not necessarily stable, but more user-friendly and easier to operate on system for the programmers from the back-end side of things. So that means that should things happen, because stuff always happens, it'll be easier to fix it and quicker. One of the biggest things is that, and this is what Ningi was saying yesterday, it's taking too long. And I was saying, I want to get access. And why can't we do this? And why can't we do that? Security. Simple as that. They've got to make sure that it can't be hacked, that it's as secure as possible. Bots can't get in, because these things are changing all the frigging time. Is these people are coming in with and finding ways to attack systems. So that's also why it can take a while. I want to climb in and start working on the front end. And I see they've already done quite a bit last night. So yeah, getting there, guys. Don't hold us on Monday, but that's where the focus is. And when the programmers are working all weekend only on power gifting, and that I love. And I can see that because on our little Telegram group that we've got, they're putting comments of the stages that they're at. So they're in the office now, and that's huge commitment and massive respect for them. So we're there. And Ningi's got some stuff that she said she wants to share. So I'm going to hand the microphone over to Ningi. Hello, how are you?
Hello, team. Hello, Dr. C. Hello, family. I hope you all well. I'm good. Thank you, Tim, for that amazing training. Very insightful. And family, just on my side, I'd really just like to encourage our focus. There is a statement that Festina has said a number of times in this community, and every time she says it, it really grabs me. I'm not sure if it's originally hers, but I'm sure she'll share. Where she normally says we inherently overrate short-term and underrate long-term. We inherently significantly overrate short-term and we underrate long-term. And this is crucial being a community that has a long-term project that we're looking at. Because if we don't get that and absorb it really deep within and allow it to shape what we do, it will be 3 years later and nothing much changed. And long-term becomes very long-term, not because it needed to, but because that's how we've treated it. Because at the end of the day, the opportunity of power gifting is driven by our effort. So long-term can overnight or over time become very long-term if every day nothing changes. So on my side, our family, my encouragement is, yes, we are on a long-term project. Let's in our souls, in our heart, fast track ourselves to 5-10 years from now. Power gifting is mathematical certainty. So we are 10 years from now. The system has done, our programmer is a partner. He's got skin in the game. He's played his part. The numbers have worked exactly as numbers do 10 years down the line. And of all the things we invested ourselves in, 10 years later, power gifting has done. I'm not going to talk about the rest, but power gifting has done what power gifting delivered. What would we have wanted to do differently? What would we have done differently if 10 years from now we knew power gifting would do exactly what power gifting promised? Are we able to think about it like that and start informing our daily action? Take it as a given that 5-10 years from now, power gifting is delivered. Because see, the thing with time is even when something proves itself, you can't go back and undo. It's proven itself to be true, but now you can't go back and fix what you should have had you known it was true. Had you known it would do what it said it would. You don't have the luxury of going back and redoing. You only have the current shot at anything that's got to do with time. The best time you've got is the present. It's what you have now. That's your only time guarantee. And so I really want to encourage us, family. I know many things are taking our attention. There is an urgent need for money now in all our lives. There is, urgent need for a breakthrough right now. And that's where the issue of overrating short term comes in, where we significant, because I can feel the pain of a bill not paid right now. I spend the entire day, the entire month fixing January's bills problems. And I forget that my strongest desire is to be financially free in 5 to 10 years. So I live every day putting out the fires of daily, weekly, and monthly demands. And I forget to apply myself to my ultimate. When I sit every day with my goals, I mean, I know this is true for all of us. None of us have enough financial goals to pay this month's bill. But when we live our lives, we're living as though our priority is to pay this month's bill. We all have financial freedom, which we understand will take time. But when we look at our action, we are focusing on February's bill, this week's bill. And that consumes us. Why? Because it is burning right now. The threat of a missed deadline is real right now. And so though we know the long term is our focus, our action is predominantly steered to right now. And if we don't change that, and really, as I was thinking just to myself, that 10 years down the line, power gifting has done it all. Everything that power gifting said it would do. Will I look back and be proud of the effort I had put in building up to the 10 years? knowing 10 years later, Power Gifting ticked every box. Power Gifting made and kept every promise. How will I feel about myself and my involvement in the everyday of the 10 years prior? How would I feel about me? And we are in a community project. It's a very forgiving space. But the thing is, our actions are only either advancing or delaying us. There's a few individuals I've watched in this community, and I can say they possibly won't be part of the 10-year regret because they really are giving it their all. And my encouragement is, can we partner deliberately, really, and work together? There is a team of leaders that is meeting on Tuesdays. I believe it's 7 p.m. South African time. And what they're doing is really this principle that I'm trying to share in a practical way. What is the little that we can do consistently that when done collectively will go a long way? What they are challenging us to do as a community is bring one a month. Let's be accountability partners in bringing one a month. There is not a single person in this community that can say it's impossible for me to find one person who's got $8 that I can bring into the community. If that is a challenge, then it's a faith issue. We don't believe what we have because people buy our belief. If I can't find one person a month who will buy into the vision of Power Gifting being so affordable to partake, then maybe there is a belief issue in me that is, because we are more transparent than we believe, that is coming across when I'm presenting Power Gifting, which then means I must take time and deal with it before sharing with people. Because if we really present, just the numbers, just allow the numbers to paint their own picture, people can take calculators and recalculate. And all they have to believe is numbers. And to get started is $8. I just believe if you find someone who can read and you put the numbers before them and you write it's only $8, you really will get more than one a month. So if it's not happening, really, we just need to put a mirror in front of us. But what I'm really encouraging us family to do is to partner with that vision and really say, I'm going to be part of the team. We're going to hold each other accountable and we're going to bring one a month. We need to focus ourselves and ensure we are focusing on what matters long-term. What matters long-term. Otherwise, as the year is flying, it's going to be end of 2024. We look back and it will be like, but why does it look like nothing much happened? Nothing much would happen if we don't prioritize on making it happen. So I think my encouragement is that, family, let's treat it like it's already delivered and inform our actions as such. Because when it does, we won't have a way to click undo and restart. We really won't. Thank you so much.
Oh, there we go. Ningi, I love what you said there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I put in the chat box your question. You said, it is 2034 now. And Power Gifting's powerful. Look back to 2024 and think what you wish you had done back then. Now do it. So that there's no regrets, that in 2034, you go, wow, look where we are. I only wish 10 years ago when we were starting out, I had done blah, 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 blah. Do that today. That's what Ningi's talking about. Do that today. To live in the now, one needs to take action now and get started today and get the amazing future results through your own efforts. Aaron said it. Lovely words, my friend. Lovely words. Great food for thought, Ningi. Yes. If you have a look, we've got time. Line your Q&A up now. I've got some questions. Can I ask you guys some questions? Can we play a little bit here for some perspective? Because Ningi's been giving us some perspective. We've got time. You guys all right for that? Can I ask some questions? Show me. Aaron says yes. I know Aaron's there. Coach B. What about the rest? Massini? Sabina? Thank you. This is feedback time. In the chat box, everybody, please. There's only 16 of us on the call. Everybody, all 16. Put in the chat box a 1 if you've built your own business, you're building one now, you've built your own business before. And a 2 if you haven't. There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to know if, see you in here. A 1 if you built your own business. You've started your own business, you've got your own business, you've bought a business and it is yours. Or a 2 if you haven't. Just give me a good framing, that's all. All right. Orange 1, Festina's a 1, Messini, Jocelyn 2s, thank you. Elizabeth 2, 2s, Coach B 1, Zelda 1. Great. Says everybody, not yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including Ningi and Dr. C. Come on, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay, 6, 7. All right. So we've got most people have been employees. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Sabina, 1. Thank you. Less people have been business owners. So here's the next question for the business owners here. How many years did it take for your business to be self-sustainable? That it was profitable, you were able to draw the profits from it, that you started to achieve the results. Christina is laughing. How many years did it take for that business to be self-sustaining, where it was now profitable? You could draw profits, it was beautiful, you were starting to achieve the results. You're never going to get there in the end because it's a moving target, but you felt, right now I got a business. Anthony, never. Wow. Festina, laughing. This is a guy for the 1s. So for the 2s, I want you to have a look at the answers. Arend. Okay. Never happened, Monica. 2 years, 5 years, still working on it. 1+ years. Thank you, Zelda. Okay. So for the guys who are 2s, have a look at that. Now, why is that important to know? Yes, power gifting is a gifting economy, but it is business principles. We need people, we need marketing, we need stable internet, we need a system. It's business principles. It's the same, whether it's a gifting economy, network marketing, it is, let's just frame it, there's a big, big business element to it. So if we have a look at power gifting and say, well, there's a business element to this. Remember, we're here for the long term. It's not a get rich quick scheme. This is not this is the investments and put in money and Bitcoin this and that and the coast and then dies. No. We're not that. That's why you guys are here, is because we're not that. So what are we then? Typically, if you look at business everywhere, if it gets through and survives the pain, it's 5 years. 5 years, guys, that you have to work through it consistently. Now, I'm not saying it's going to take us 5 years. I don't believe it does, because the world is so much faster and we're internet based. So typically you're looking 2 to 3 years. I would say 2 to 3 years for this to be that platform that we can be. I hope it's quicker. But why I'm putting into perspective is we're only in our 2nd year. I'm pleasantly building my own business again. I built one many years ago. I've built a number of different networks, but that's not a business. I'm now building my own business. I did one in 2008. I'm doing one again. I'm now in my 2nd year. Am I sustainably profitable? No. When I speak to other people in the coaching and public speaking, professional speaking environment, anywhere between 2 to 5 years before they got it right, before they had the right message, before they had everything stable, before they had the website done right, and they had a good client base, and they were getting to be known. So let's put in perspective. Don't lose track. This is not network marketing. This isn't a network marketing, buy this product, sell it, get a commission. It can be faster if everyone put in the effort. Zelda, yes, it can be. But here's the reality. I said this to the wife yesterday. The best thing about my business is the people. The worst thing about my business is, thank you, Coach B, the people. Yes, it could be. And we could say that for any business, but this is the reality of the world that we live in. It is just the world that we live in. Yes, there's no reason why a new coffee shop can't be profitable in the first month if everybody who saw it went in, but they don't. So it takes time. The systems take time. The procedures take time. The website takes time. Okay. I just want to put into some perspective. Ningi had a wonderful perspective. Look for the future. And then you are in the future. Now look back and go, what could I have done 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago? Do it now. Live in the now, act now. Because the work that you do now, you reap later. But if we're not doing the work now, it will take 5 years and not 2. Do the work now, it'll take 1.5 years or 2 years, not 5. So just put in perspective, especially for employees. And when you're talking to other people who have a job, helping them understand, you've got to help them think differently. Because coming in and thinking of it as an employee is the wrong thinking mindset. And that's why people do nothing. Because they're waiting to be told what to do, but that's not what we do. It's different. I'd like to open up the microphone. Anybody with some thoughts they want to share, questions on the development, on power gifting, on the training. Let's open up the mics. I'm going to keep quiet now. Somebody want to add value to what Ningi was talking about? She had some very good stuff to say. Hello, Festina.
Greetings. I would like to add something to what Ningi said, and that's basically that groups of coordinated men and women make impact. No one wins anything important by themselves, and we should all stop playing the game alone. Times have changed. If we look at the same method of making money 10 years ago is not applicable anymore. And we have got an absolute gold mine right in front of us. But we have to work together, because the Lone Ranger thing, very few people make it like that. We are, even in nature, a group of zebras and a group of impala, they run together because there's safety in numbers. And this is what we should be doing. Just a group of coordinated men and women make impact. No one wins anything important by themselves. We should all stop playing the game alone.
I agree fully. Thank you for those beautiful words. That's why we're a community. That's why there's a team. And one of the biggest words being thrown around at the moment is solopreneur. There's a huge amount of solopreneurs which have blossomed since 2020, 2021, with people going out on their own. If you're out on your own and you're a solopreneur, you're dead in the water before you've even started. I'm not a solopreneur. I've got a team around me, advisors, a coach, marketing experts and internet guys, mentors. I'm part of communities. I am me. It is me and my brand, but I'm not alone. 100% Festina. We are here as a community, and together we lift, together we rise, together we grow. And also, it's far more exciting that way. Otherwise, it's just very lonely in the big world of sharks. Lovely words. Yes, Elder Partners. I stand fully in agreement. Lovely, lovely stuff. Thank you, Festina. Anything more from somebody else wants to share, add value, give your perspectives? You're all hugely experienced, intelligent people. You've got great wisdom inside of you. Share your wisdom. What's the point in having wisdom and knowledge and experience if you're not imparting it? Aaron's got something to say. I can see that.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little experience what happened to me 2 days ago. Short story, okay? We're not far from the Grove. There's a great computer shop there, right? I've been in there a number of times. But the people there don't know how to handle their customers or how to speak to people, okay? The first thing they went for was it will cost you that. Not, can I look at your problem or can we see what we can do? Okay. I walked out straight away. He put my back up straight away. Yeah. It was, we're more concerned about the money than what we are about you as a person, how we can help you. So I went to my little shop, took the laptop, tried to put the screw in. He said, "Oh, look, I'm going to have to do more work on it." Okay. He almost charged me the same price, but it's the way he approached me. That small business will stay in longer in business than what that computer shop in the Grove was. And I'll watch it over the years. We'll see it happen. It's exactly what you said earlier on. And you've been saying, it's how you deal with people and the results that come out. There we go. That's my story for today.
Stunning. Thanks for sharing. And that's so valuable. We see it all the time in retail. You see it all the time. Yeah. Then the business goes out and the owners wonder why they're not making any money. It's about the people, not about the money. It's about the people. So true. Thanks a lot. Anybody else want to share something? Ladies and gents, thank you so much for Saturdays. I love my Saturday mornings. I hope you gain value and you also enjoy them as well. And maybe that's why you come back. And it's not only out of obligation or because, I don't know, you like the sound of my voice or my haircut, but there's some good value in it as well. And thanks to Dr. C for everything that's going on in the background. And guys, if you think you're busy, you don't want a competition because you'll lose if you're competing against Dr. Clinton. I can assure you of that. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I don't know. He gets the energy from somewhere. And to Ningi for your words of wisdom and your thoughts and your perspective as well. We keep on going and we know why we do. And we hope you guys do know as well. Thanks a lot for contributing, everybody. Festina, Aaron, appreciate you all. There we go, Dr. C. And we'll see you on Monday with me at 7 o'clock. Of course, with Sandra and Coach B on Tuesdays. Guys, get on that call, man. The stuff, I'm not able to get on live on Tuesdays. Unfortunately, I'd love to, but Tuesday nights is taken up with me already. And strategies. How do I apply this in my life? That's what Coach B, that's what Sandra are for. They're committing, they're giving up their time for you, for the community. Huge respect for that. Get on that call. Jump onto it. Ask them the question. Both huge amount of experience and knowledge you have as well. And together as a community, that'll help you move forward. And then, of course, Coach B on Thursdays. And next week, Saturday, the amazing Ningi and Dr. Clinton. What most people don't realize, we used to share business for shops or big companies and do not get paid, but we can't share power gifting where we get our gifts. Yeah, it is. It's a mindset thing, Zelda. It's a mindset thing. You'll recommend people to go to the shop and you get no benefit for it. But here, would you recommend people to come to power gifting? And in return, you're down the line, you're going to receive gifts. Great thinking. That's about changing the paradigm of how you're seeing everything. So thanks for support. Thanks for super teaching this morning. Joyce, thank you all very much. Thank you, everybody, very much. Have an awesome weekend. Have an awesome, fantastic Saturday. And I'll see you on Monday. Let's unmute. Give your love. Share your thanks to everybody. And see you guys soon.
Great training as always, Tim.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks, Tim.
Bye.
Thank you, Tim.